and you need to grow into it. You know, you need to help them, acknowledge them, get them aware of what's going on, help them, you know, do everything you possibly can.
And also, like, bring more people to the athletes and educate to see what we do in Special Olympics.
Absolutely.
And also like bring more bring more athletes to get involved in Special Olympics.
I like that, but I think as us athletes, we should find a way how to get more coaches involved. If we get more athletes, that's great, but we have to remember that the coaches have that ratio that they have to stay with us.
Yeah, it's great getting more athletes, you know, younger athletes, or even, you know, but there's going to come a time where if you have too many athletes and not enough coaches,
And it won't be fair, like to go away to the event.
when you're going away, you're not going to be able to take as many athletes. So you got to have at least half or more coaches than there is athletes.
Yeah.
In order to do everything.
Like half coaches and half athletes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And this is where you need to really start encouraging your global messengers to really get out, like go around schools or where they can go and recruit these athletes, coaches, or wherever, any place you can think of.
And athletes can become coaches as well.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, so if an athlete wants to transition into a coach for a different sport, and not necessarily, like I play tennis, so I couldn't coach tennis. But if I wanted to coach another sport, I could do that in another season. Yeah.
And also, we should have more unified teams across our state of Pennsylvania.
We do.
And the thing is, with unified teams, what you get into, especially as an adult, is work, and then you have other people have lives, and so they can't give you the time.
Yeah.
Not that they don't want to, but they have other things going on in their life that they can't just drop it and do. Whereas within the school system, Unify is easier because it's structured into the school day.
Okay.
Okay? Because then they can do it after school, or they can do it if the school gets out early, whenever, they can have a practice for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it would be. As an adult, I can tell you it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I did Unified in 1995 at the World Games. It was very difficult because I live in Chester County and my coach lived in McKean County. And it was fair, and I had to practice independently. And he works a full-time job. Plus he's a tennis coach, so he has another job on top of that. Plus the World Games. So it becomes a time commitment to some degree. But Unify is a great thing to do. I would do it again if the opportunity presented itself.
I would love to. I would love that. The concept.
It's fun. My coach, when we were playing doubles against, I think it was Virginia, hit a ball, and I was standing straight at the net, and he goes, "Duck!" and the ball goes right over my head. So that's the kind of thing that happens. I mean, he didn't do it on purpose, but that's what happens. You know, when you don't practice as a team.
Yeah.
As a team, if he hits you in the back, you can laugh about it. But when you're in a competition, whatnot, it's a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah. Competition is harder.
Yeah.
For unified team.
Yeah. And you have to be against other unified teams, not just going against, like we played, I think it was Virginia and New Jersey.
Yeah.
We lost to Virginia, but we beat New Jersey.
Yeah. And also, we faced in Villanova last weekend. We faced against Lebanon, and my Lehigh County soccer team. We faced against Lebanon, against the unified team. Lebanon versus traditional teams, and in Strasburg, we barely beat Lebanon 2-1. Was a Strasburg and won a gold medal. And last week at Villanova, we faced Lebanon again, and we beat Lebanon. I think it's 2-1. But in a gold medal game last Sunday weekend, we lost against Lebanon. We lost against Lebanon for the gold medal. They won a gold medal, and my Lehigh County soccer team was won a silver medal. So it's okay to have like unified versus traditional teams.
But if you're playing against in a competition, you want the competition to be, you want to be against that other state or whoever you're playing against. So you want it to be unified versus unified. If it's unified versus mixed doubles, it's not unified, but you're still competing.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand that as an athlete and as a unified partner, you want to go against the best. And that's essentially what you're doing when you go to the World Games or whatever.
So you've come up with some things that you're going to do when everybody get a chance to talk about what you're going to do with what you've learned today?
Well, everybody wants to, consensus is to make a change in their own county for the better of other county, and more unified wants to be promoted more than.
So how are you going to do that?
Well, you have to talk to your counties, and
Use your global messenger.
use your global messengers. Talk to your counties, and try to promote more unified.
Okay, so
I know promoting is not
is to go back and try to promote more unified. Anybody else have something else they want to do when they go back?
If they want to go back?
Well, when you leave here and you're going back to your county and you're now the athlete rep, what would be your goal? What do you want to do with what you learned today?
Bring more athletes.
Okay, you want to recruit more athletes?
Recruit more athletes.
and more coaches.
I also think we should have. I get pooped every time I do practice. I think we should make practices at least a little shorter and maybe more practices a week.
So you want to
And
talk
get more
about
exercise.
you want to talk about practices? Okay,
Yeah.
specific. Okay, you're getting real specific, and I guess that's good. You got some ideas then to take back.
I think we should recruit more volunteers.
You want to recruit more volunteers
Yeah.
with what you know, okay? All right, so now what I'm going to ask, you've got a list. Can you read the list that you have? You make changes.
I have moving towards the future, like talking to the younger generation, mentoring them, recruiting more coaches, athletes, and volunteers, getting more unified teams.
So you're thinking about having more unified teams. That means getting more volunteers in to play on the unified teams. So here's your second question. What are the roadblocks or the barriers to those things happening? What's going to keep those things from happening? So talk about it in your group, and he's going to take, is it Robert?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert's going to take notes again on the ideas, things that might keep these things from happening. What are the roadblocks?
I think it's traveling problems.
Yeah.
Okay?
It was I think it's transportation of the roadblocks.
Yeah, that's always a roadblock,
That's always a
isn't it?
roadblock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
family. Talk to your group why you think that could be a
Have your family be
roadblock.
aware of what, Special Olympics is all about.
Family.
Sometimes parents like the athlete wants to be involved, but the parents don't want to provide transportation, and they always want to come up with an excuse, but then they want to complain because their athlete doesn't get involved with this stuff, but yet they don't want to really sometimes go out of their way. Sometimes some of the parents maybe can be a barrier.
Yeah, sometimes.
And also the schedule. The schedules, a lot of parents, especially with young children, have a lot to do. In Special Olympics, coaches say you need to be at practice, you need to be trained. Well, what if we have super stuff to do? We always try to attend our practices, but I also don't think some of the coaches understand what kind of schedules our family has.
Yeah, and I know in the past for me, my sister would have to come from New Jersey, pick me up, take me to practice, and then either stay at the school or go visit some family members and then come pick me back up and take me back to where I live at in Berlin and then go back to New Jersey. Whereas if a practice for me for soccer was a little bit more closer, it would be, I could probably just get a ride there.
Yeah, and also I think the teammates and the team's parents also need to huddle up. Like the parents need to be good with each other. Because what if one parent can't bring their kid? Maybe if the parents are good together, maybe another parent can fix that problem and bring the kid. Like carpooling is a good idea because it can really change. It can make some person that wasn't going to go to be able to go.
Like I carpool with Richard and Hardy because
Yeah.
my aunts are always busy over the weekend.
Yeah.
So I actually carpool with
There's
someone.
good bit of people in my county that carpool to practices.
And also you need to see how close you are to each other. Use social media to connect.
Yeah.
Can I ask, does anyone, now I've talked to some of you, does anyone, I know myself, and does anyone have their driver's license?
I'm going for my apprenticeship in a couple days.
Okay.
I also think, not to interrupt you,
I also have my CPL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because, see, from my perspective, I can get to the,
because I know that some counties are limited on resources, like, we're to hold track, like they need to find a school who is willing to let them, okay, you're allowed to use our track, or to find somewhere to use our gym, like just to find the places to hold practice might be on the other side of the county where everyone else could live on this side.
so your county does not have the same
Yeah, like,
places
in
to have
Cambridge
it
County, like,
every year after year?
we're a fairly large county, and most of our sports are held in the southern part of the county, which is like really 5 minutes away from the Somerset County borderline. Where yeah, I live in the middle of Cambria County, and it could take me a half hour to get to practice. But the people who live in northern Cambria, it would take them an hour to get to practice because they refuse to drive 2 hours up and back for a 2-hour practice. And I suggested to like my county management team that we should find a way to get practice at least moved at least in the middle of the county or somewhere.
Split everything up.
Or that, yeah, if like you larger counties, why don't you say, okay, well this area we can maybe go here, and then this part of the area can maybe go here. That way you guys aren't driving an hour or 2 hours away for practice, and then somehow like when it comes to competition, then combine that way. I mean,
Maybe you should take that back to your
Yeah, your
Because
county.
Northern Cambria does not know Special Olympics exist. I never knew Special Olympics existed if it weren't for my brother CSS that said, hey, there's this place that you should go check out. Because all our athletes live in the same part of the county where practice is offered. And the rest of the county, they're like, we have a Special Olympics? Why come I never heard about it?
like
Yeah.
you guys could take like they do, like the counties do with Pezza Bay, like take your part of the county. It's like, okay, this will be the north part of the county, this will be the west part of the county, or something like that. Like this part of the county goes here for practice, that part of the county goes here for practice.
The school I go to, it's right in the middle of the county, and my superintendent is more than willing to let us use the gym for the weekend or use the track and soccer field like after school hours, but I think it's fair because we're in the middle of the county.
See, it's great for your superintendent to do that, where, like, for Lycoming County, if we wanted to do something, we'd have to go through hoops just to do something. We can't just, but we have our own designated, like the YMCA, and, you know, we have,
Yeah, and
I'm shocked
to
that
have
actually-
like more practices like across the county, that means we would need to find more coaches and get them certified in the sport.
Yeah.
And more practice.
Like maybe Kenmore County could have like 2 soccer teams. Like there would be a soccer team in the north part of the county and like the south part of the county. So no one is driving outrageous distances just to get to like an hour or 2.
You can also
So not only are
like,
you coming up with roadblocks, you're now solving the problem.
yeah.
And coaches thing, like you said, athletes can also become coaches. So maybe some of the other athletes, older athletes, or maybe can't play the active sports anymore, but they kind of might want to still participate. Maybe that's something you can suggest. Say, hey, you know, we need more coaches, and you still want to help out. Would you maybe want to come be certified and be a coach?
And also the speech problems is for the roadblocks, speech problem, especially like in global messengers.
You mean going out and speaking, or
Yeah, speaking.
going and speaking to events?
Yeah.
Well, that comes with I mean, that comes with repetition and practice. It's just like competing in a sport.
Every county. Yeah.
Speech problems, including like global messengers, if you have speech problems, and communications. Yeah.
Are you thinking speech problems as being getting speeches, having enough places to go out and speak to?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, and also like if you have speech problems,
Okay, understanding.
understanding. Yes. Yes.
and also I think with the driving long distances, if somebody has like 10 minutes to spare, you can drive halfway and meet somewhere, switch the kids, and then drive to
You
wherever
are
you
great
have to go.
problem solvers. Okay, here's what we're going to do in a minute or two. I'm going to have you go back to your tables, and when you get back, you're going to explain to the mentors that were at your table what you just talked about. So you might want to take a couple seconds. He's going to go over what you plan to do, and then you're going to talk about some of the roadblocks so that you can go back and talk about that with the people, with the mentors that are at your table.
And also a lack of a knowledge of Special Services mission.
Okay, another roadblock.
Yeah.
So can you go ahead and talk about, and maybe you can help Rob as he goes along and reads. He's going to first tell you what he's going to do when you get back, and then he's going to talk about some of the roadblocks. Yeah. Okay.